Now, Robert Sandla is here with me. We're going to handicap the Tony Awards. Always a dangerous, perhaps foolhardy thing to do. However, last year, in print at least, I got them all right, except for one. I missed one, and only because I changed my mind last minute.
Well, what was the show last year?
Huh?
Do you remember what the one was you got wrong? Do you admit your faults here?
Oh, yeah. It was Best Supporting Actress in a Play.
Oh, okay.
I went with Lois Smith from The Grapes of Wrath instead of Margaret Tysak for Lettuce and Lovage. Although my initial inclination was Margaret, I should have stuck with my gut choice. I'm not guaranteeing you that we're going to have the same luck this year, but we're going to give it the good old college try.
Okay.
Now, first we're going to, in deference, of course, to our guest, abstain from making a prediction about Best Featured Actress in a Musical. But why not go for featured actor in a musical? It's an interesting category.
It is actually. It's what's interesting actually is Hinton Battle and Willie Falk, both from the same show, are up, and it looks Willie is wonderful in the role, but it's not a star-making role. Whereas Hinton Battle has the pyrotechnics, he has the show-offy kind of part. He gets to scream, and he gets all those little Vietnamese orphans behind him.
Yeah,
so one has the feeling that. People know him.
Bruce Adler, you know, won the Drama Desk Award and garnered wonderful reviews, but I don't think enough of the Tony voters saw that show.
It was a wonderful show, but it was a small show.
Yeah.
And it was a first-class performance, but not enough people, I think, saw it.
Right.
It was low-key.
And now, the technical awards always kind of baffling to most of the laymen out there watching the Tony Awards, but obviously very important aspects of any production.
Sure.
Scenic design, I think, will go to The Secret Garden.
Probably. It was most elaborate, certainly. Miss Saigon was
certainly
amazing.
The busiest.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it was meant to be. I mean, that whole Victorian pop-up card thing. It's a shame, really, because La Bête looked like nothing else you've ever seen. There was a giant chandelier the size of, you know, the Helen Hayes Theater itself coming down in the diagonal at the audience. So it was amazing. But I have a feeling The Secret Garden, since it's still running. Costume
design. Now, I've talked to people who think that it's going to go to Shogun. I know a couple people who are voting for Shogun. I can't believe that Willa Kim wouldn't win for Will Rogers.
Yeah, well,
brilliant costume.
Yeah, people in Shogun called it Showgirl. So you tell me. Let's just go for Will Rogers.
Yeah, and lighting design has to be David Hersey for Miss Saigon.
Yeah. It was Studio 54 on a good day, really. More Vara lights than you've seen in your life.
But it's flashy.
No, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
For the Tonys, I think, whenever in doubt, especially the tech stuff, go for the obvious.
Yeah.
Direction of a play. It's Sachs versus Axe.
It sure is. S&Z there.
That's right.
Jerry Sachs, it seems to me, his contribution to that show was enormous, because the concept of having the cast seated right there as part of the audience, popping up and down, constantly nonstop, and just having that one Kandinsky swiveling above everybody's head was a tremendous. That was a very scary choice, and not the first choice most directors would make.
Right.
I suspect it may be him.
I think it'll be Jerry, absolutely, and especially Gene Sachs is a wonderful director, a brilliant director, and he's gotten some great performances, but it's a less flashy, more obvious.
It's a more straightforward kind of production, I think.
Now, featured actor in a play, for me, it's got to be Dylan Baker, La Bête.
Well, he had that great entrance where he was attended by about half a dozen pages and had an ermine train that
about 2
went
miles long. Yeah.
And I mean, someone said, "Oh, Your Majesty, you're here," and he entered and said, everyone was greeting him as the king, and he said, "Well, I'm hardly the king," and he looked like Marie Antoinette. So he did. But Kevin Spacey in Lost in Yonkers is. Oh, it's a wonderful performance. Yeah. And it's a scary performance in a lot of ways, too. So it'll be interesting to compare those two.
Kevin Spacey, of course, won the Drama Desk Award.
Yeah.
And acknowledged Dylan in his acceptance
Well,
speech.
they're all wonderful in that category.
Featured actress in a play. You've got 2 people from Our Country's Good. One from The Speed of Darkness, which no one saw. It's gone. Forget it. Then we've got Irene Worth, God's gift to acting.
Yeah, there she is. I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot of question. Also, all these other actresses are young. And there may be the feeling that, with an actress who's a little more of a seasoned veteran, that everyone knows her and recognizes her and is thrilled to give her, and she's marvelous.
Yes,
so that's the thing. She's hard to beat.
In a very unsympathetic role. I mean, it's the toughest job to do, play a bitch and sustain the audience.
You do it very well here, though.
Well, thank you. We try. Leading actor in a play.
Hard to guess. Nigel Hawthorne?
Nigel Hawthorne, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's sad because that show's gone, and a lot of people, well, we all tend to forget things that isn't something that isn't right in front of our face.
Yes.
And Courtney B. Vance is wonderful in 6 Degrees, but people, it may have been a while since people saw it.
The momentum for that play is not, I don't think, there also.
Yeah.
It's been running a year, you know.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot of negative publicity because of the guy that the play is
Well,
loosely based on.
That's not necessarily negative. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That the man is a lunatic. And
Right.
Courtney V. Vance does a good job, I think, of presenting many sides of that kind of personality.
And of course, his persona is very different from the actual man that this plays
Oh,
based
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I don't think we could take 2 hours.
It's called
an hour and a half of
acting,
that. Yes. Leading actress in a play. If I was voting, I'd vote for Stockard Channing for 6 Degrees.
Yeah, it's hard. That's a hard one because Mercedes' role has, well, as we just saw, she has those big arias.
Yeah.
You know, and showy kind of stuff. Whereas Stockard, it's much subtler, and she
Right.
draws you in. So it's a difference between maybe I don't know, a still portrait and something that moves in front of you with those two women. But they're both fabulous.
So basically, the gist of what we've been talking about up to this point is that this is, in a lot of these categories, a neck-and-neck race between Lost in Yonkers,
Yeah.
which has already won the Pulitzer Prize, the Outer Critics Circle Award, and the Drama Desk Award for Best Play, and 6 Degrees of Separation.
Which is a whole John Guare. It's a lot more difficult production, a lot more difficult material he's working
And
with.
highly respected. I think a lot of people were shocked that Lost in Yonkers took
Yeah.
the Pulitzer from it.
Yeah, it'll be a close race, I think.
I personally think it'll be 6 Degrees.
I hope so.
All right.
Personally.
Let's take a
But
look
let's
then.
take a
6
look.
Degrees, the ensemble, in a very funny scene.
Go on a detective search and find out from your high school class if anybody has met a black kid pretending to be a movie star's son.
He promised you parts in Cats?
It wasn't just that, it was fun.
You went to Cats. You said it was an all-time low in a lifetime of theater going.
Film is a different medium.
You said Aeschylus did not invent theater to have it end up a bunch of chorus kids, wondering which one of them will go to kitty cat heaven.
I don't remember saying that.
No, I think that was Starlight Express.
Well, maybe they'll make a movie of Starlight Express and you can all be on roller skates.
This is so humiliating. This is so pathetic.
So racist.
This is not racist.
How can I get in touch with anybody in high school? I've outgrown them.
How can you outgrow them? You graduated a year ago.
All right, here is a copy of your yearbook. Get the phone numbers of everyone in your class. You can call from here.
You can charge it to my
You
phone.
call them up, you ask them. If they don't...
Never.
This is the KGB.
You're on the phone all the time. I ask you to make calls all over the country. You become reticent.
The entire McCarthy.